Alrighty guys, back at it with another video. This time I have quite a few things to show off. First of all, it's been crazy. We had a power outage for 4 days. 4 days straight. Which was hell. And I took that time to do a couple of things. First of which was work on this Tamiya 959, which I customized. I lifted it, and it's a pretty good little kit. There's actually not that many parts with it, and I genuinely love the 959. People think of it nowadays as Porsche's weird mid-engine, or not mid-engine, all-wheel drive supercar, but a lot of people forget that they built this thing for, what's it called? Group B rally racing, but by the time this thing was ready to go into production, Group B rally racing was done. They weren't even doing it anymore. So they entered it into the Paris to Dakar, I think it's called, rally, which is a grueling off-road race, by the way. And it did pretty good. I think it won. I don't fully remember. But that's what this one's based on. It's more based on the one from the Crew 2. It's not technically done. I gotta get those little roof lights that go out the back, the little tail lights. I don't have those. I have to scratch build them when I have the proper resources to do it. But yeah, that's the 959, and I'm pretty happy with it for the most part. I think it's pretty solid. This still comes off, by the way. I know that these are supposed to be silver, but I left them body color because I thought maybe on the rally car it'd be different. I don't know. Yeah, that is the 959. Up next, I'm going to show off a diecast that I haven't seen anyone cover yet on YouTube, as far as I know. One that I was highly anticipating ever since it, Spencer 1984, you guys might know him from YouTube and his website, sent me a picture from Toy Fair of this baby, which is from Hobbs and Shaw. And I say from Hobbs and Shaw. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate. I don't think Universal made this thing up. I believe it was a truck that was built for SEMA, and I think Dennis McCarthy or someone saw it and was just like, we need to get that in the movie, because I'm pretty sure this was built by some custom shop. Like, it wasn't done in-house by Universal. It's a Peterbilt Custom, and whoa, it's a Peterbilt Custom. It's actually a lot lower and smaller than the actual truck. The first time I want Jada to actually make something big, and they make it a little bit too small. But you know what? I'll roll with it because it's a custom truck anyway. It's pretty small. It's, I could probably, you know what, I'll bring in the 959 and put it next to it, just to show you comparison. It's not that small, but it's not as big as I'd like it to be, because the truck in real life is decently sized. I think it's the cab. The cab is a lot more chopped than the real truck. The real truck, I believe, sits up just a little bit higher. Well, at least the cab does. And the Jada version is a lot more chopped, which gives it a much meaner look to it. I actually kind of dig it. I think it's really cool. People have been asking me, Mike, what are you going to do with this thing? Are you going to customize it? No. I really like it as is. I think the most I'll do is maybe I'll do a black wash into the grooves of the wood here. I think that'll make it pop just a little bit more. Maybe do some paint work on this. But I think that's about it. It does have an actual little winch here. It has a little bit of a give to it, like you could stretch it, but I wouldn't play with it. So I'm just leaving that as is. Very pretty die cast. Even the paintwork, I mean, the detail on the interior isn't all that great, but It's whatever. I could repaint that if I want to. Just a really cool truck. I mean, I don't really have much to complain about with this, and I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, I was excited for it, and it lived up to the excitement. It's good. I recommend it. If you see this on eBay, there's plenty of them. They just came out. Pick it up. And you know what? Going on the theme of diecasts, let's go on and move on to our next one, which is a custom diecast. And that is this boyo, which I think is done. Now, okay, what happened to this thing? Well, first of all, I didn't want to do it like this at first. I wanted to lift it up on some truck tires, which were these, but my other set of these snapped and broke. So I was just like, well, shit, that ain't good. So I finally found monster truck tires to jack up the rear, and it sat way too high, well, how it sits now. So I just went, you know what, screw it, it's going to be a Warburg Interceptor. So my original plan kind of fell apart with this thing, but yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this thing. I didn't want to go through the effort of chopping up the trunk again. I did that on my last one, and it was grueling. I broke so many blades doing it. This is the Greenlight Interceptor, by the way, and again, I can't stress just how disappointing this diecast is. I mean, it's cooler now that I diecast it, that I customized it, and made it kind of my own thing. It's not full Razor Kohler. It's kind of just, I don't know how to describe it. I finally used this blower, by the way, because I've had it for a while, and I never found a car to use it on, and I just went, I'm going to put it on this thing, because I ripped that old supercharger and blower off of this thing. Yeah, this diecast by Greenlight is such a disappointment. I was thinking when they announced it, I was like, holy shit, we're going to get our own original tooling of the Mad Max Interceptor. It's not. It's a repop of, I believe, Cavalier was the company's name, and they even made it worse than that one. At least that one had an opening hood, and the blower didn't sit as high. What they did is essentially they just repopped it, put a thing over where the blower, where the whole engine was supposed to go. They molded the hood down, made the blower just sit really tall, and it's lazy. It's lazy. Like it's stupid. I hate it. Ugh. It pisses me off, man, because it always feels like 1/24th scale always gets shafted. But hey, look, 118 has its all new original tooling. Just it's lazy. I hate it. Anyway, that's this thing. It's better than how it was. I'm curious as to what you guys think of it. But yeah, moving on. Up next is the Meng Hummer, which I customized, and I'm somewhat unhappy / happy with this thing. This is a truck from my world. Old, damaged military vehicle. I didn't intend on damaging the windshield, but the way that the kit goes together, the window whole frame went in crooked, and after everything was glued in, the sides included, there was no way for me to fix it without pulling plastic out and making everything all, destroyed. So I decided to work with the crooked window frame and dent it and make it look like maybe when the meteorite hit the Earth during the apocalypse hundreds of years ago, this Hummer rolled over. Probably not that violently, because this is all fine, but it just hit this. This was the worst spot that got hit. I don't know, maybe something fell on it. Shattered the window, and the thing sat and rusted for a little bit. But this is the Hummer. It does have full engine detail. I left the doors off of it because, you know what? If you give me the option, doors or no doors, I'm going no doors. You don't see that typically with model kits. That's usually like a die-cast thing. How far back that engine sits. I love it. It's cool. I like that they include these little hooks here. I genuinely like this kit. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I see Mang and I'm like, oh shit, Mang sucks. They're such a tedious company when they make model kits. But this one was kind of a pleasant surprise. Like, it wasn't as bad as their Jeep kit. Their Jeep kit is very, very tedious. I do not recommend that kit. The Mang Jeep Wrangler, I really, really do not recommend that kit. That kit is tedious and it does not go together well. Everything is just screw that kit. I've seen people have better luck with it, but I have not had good luck with that kit, so never revisiting that one in my entire life. First time ever painting camouflage. I've never done it before. Yeah. There's nothing really else I have to say about it. Just a post-apocalyptic Hummer turned Humvee, because this is an H1, which I always thought the main kit was an H1 Alpha. It's not. It's just a regular H1. So this does not have that awesome Duramax diesel. That's a bit of a bummer. Oh well. Is it weird that, like, Hummer and Humvee are both made by two different companies, but they're virtually identical? Like, Humvee is made by AM General, and Hummer is General Motors. I don't believe those two companies are even remotely related to each other. I could be wrong about that, though. And also, when I was working on this thing, I kind of understood why the H2 is seen as a disappointment. I mean, personally, I love the Hummer H2. It's one of my favorite SUVs. But I understand why some people say it's a disappointment and why it's an embarrassment to Hummer. Because the H1 set this standard. It has portals, independent, portal suspension in the rear and in the front. It's an insane off-roader, and, the suspension is not really what you find in a lot of traditional trucks. If you bought a new Chevy Silverado 4-wheel drive, it's going to have an axle up front, but if you bought a Hummer H1, it's got portals, so it has much more better off-road capabilities. Hummer H2 was just like a regular truck. It had axles, and I understand why people think it's a disappointment. I don't agree, but I understand more after building this, that the Hummer H1 probably set this huge standard for what the company should do, but General Motors just didn't really follow up with it that well with the H2 for some people. For me, I think the H2 is okay. I still love it because I always loved that thing ever since I was little, but I understand more why people say it's a disappointment. Moving on to the best for last. Well, we saved the best for last, and that is the Panther. It is a 1970 Dodge Charger, my first ever pink car. I've never done a pink Mopar. I've always wanted to do them. I love pink Mopars, and I finally did it. And what a nightmare. Oh my god, I can't tell you the stress levels, the blood pressure that I had with this thing. Let me explain. First of all, what happened with the car. First, I painted it flat white by Rust-Oleum, which is a very good paint, by the way. It goes on very, very nicely. And I debated so long. I'm like, should I just keep it flat white? And maybe just build it up and then maybe clear over it and make it a more shinier white, because it was clean. But then, like, as I started looking up 70 Dodge Chargers, I remembered how cool they look in pink. And I'm just like, I love pink Mopars. I gotta do a pink Mopar. And finally, I found a Krylon color that I was going to use to replicate Suki's S2000, but it wound up being used for this charger. Well, I still have the can. I could still use it for the S2000. But look at it. What's the nightmare part of this? Well, there's little pins in this kit that you have to put into the wheels to attach it to the suspension. Guess who lost those? This guy did. So I had to glue them on and hope like hell that they were aligned. And I mean, they're not, but you know, I tried. I really don't know where they went. I have everything still in the box. They're not there. They're gone. Number two, I don't know if I'm the only person that has this problem with Mopars from Revell. The radiator is always too big. I had to cut it up yet again because the radiator is too big. I don't know why I have this problem with Mopars. Oh shit. I forgot to put the battery in. Okay, let's just ignore that. That was an oopsie. Oh my god, I cannot believe that. I'm looking under the hood. I'm like, wait, what looks wrong to me? It just hit me. Okay, well, that's something I gotta do tomorrow. I forgot the battery. I can't believe that. Okay, so maybe the battery was pulled because, you know, this car's just sitting, chilling. They didn't want to waste the battery. They're getting an Optima for it. Oh my god. Okay. First time ever doing pink and white. I did white interior with that same color, by the way. That Krylon matte white is done for the doors, done for the seats, and it's white and black. And I think that's a good color combination for this thing. I painted the wheels. They're not the original chrome. I think they look much better. So it's not overly chrome. I think it looks perfect. Definitely not a perfect model. It has its flaws. But definitely one of the cleanest models I've had in a while. There's the chassis. But yeah, I think I got lucky with this one. Even though that mishap with misplacing those things, seriously, I really do not know where the hell those things went. But yeah, that's the Charger, nicknamed Panther because back in the day they used to call it Panther Pink. So yep, let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.